few years ago, a workplace acquaintance called me around midnight sobbing that her parents had kicked her out because they didn't like her boyfriend and she needed some place to stay for a few days while she sorted it out. I, being a young and naive fool, offered up my place, a one-bed, one-bath apartment that she had been to before. She arrived about 2 hours later, her car filled to bursting with all her belongings. I knew immediately I had made a mistake offering up my place and that she had no intention of staying, just a day or two. But it being 2 a.m. and me being spineless, I decided to let her stay the night and then tell her she needed to find another place in the morning. I gave her the go-ahead to use my shower and did what I could to make the couch into a comfy bed. When she got out of the shower, she saw that I had made a bed on the couch in the living room where my dog's crate is also set up. I don't like dogs. Can you put him outside? Me, well, I don't have a yard and it's 20 degrees outside, so no, but he'll be in his crate all night and won't bother you. Can't you just put him on your balcony? Me, no, he can sleep in my room tonight though. It'll take too long to move his crate into your room. I'll just sleep in there and you can take the couch. Me, oh, he can just sleep on my bed with me, it's no big deal. Why can't I take your bed and you sleep on the couch? I would rather sleep in a bed. Me, yeah, I would too, so I'm going to sleep in my bed in my apartment. I don't want to sleep on the couch. Me, look, it's almost 3 in the morning, you can either sleep on the couch or find a hotel. Well, I want the bed tomorrow. Me, we'll talk about tomorrow. The next day at work she referred to my apartment as our apartment, and I told her she needed to find somewhere else to stay. She proceeded to ask me for money to rent a hotel room, and told me she liked my shower products and I should give her the extras she saw I kept under my bathroom sink as a consolidation gift. She ended up moving back in with her parents, who apparently didn't actually kick her out but had just told her that if she and her boyfriend lived at their house then they needed to contribute to the bills. Some context before I start. I work in a Japanese restaurant as a cashier. My job is simple. I take your order, I tell the kitchen, give you your change and or receipt, then give you your food. This choosing beggar is but one of many and is a fairly common occurrence. Same kind of person, same kind of issue and same result. After you read this, just imagine it happening again every other month. Here it goes. One night shift, I was busy shuffling left and right, organizing orders and calling them out to customers. I was also keeping track of online orders, labeling them and handing them to the right assigned delivery driver. This isn't a fancy restaurant, sit-down restaurant, it's more akin to a fast food joint. Fairly cheap and real filling. Enter choosing beggar, CB. She comes in wearing some overly expensive name brand items. We're talking Louis Vuitton handbags, Gucci sunglasses and a bunch of other fancy clothing. She looks like the kind of person you'd see with the housewives of whatever county city. She got the extra large Starbucks coffee that's got a dozen toppings and extras like whipped cream and chocolate syrup. Only thing missing was a tiny loud dog that you could punt like a football. But, the point is, this is some fairly well-off lady, I think. Me, Erasmus, welcome. CB, okay, can I get some rice and some curry? Me, sure, how much rice and curry you want? Also, will you be taking it to stay or to go? CB, I'll just take a small and some shrimp tempura. Me, okay, with tax altogether it's 10.94. CB, I'll take it for free, thank you. Me, pardon me? CB, I said I'm not paying for it, I want it for free. Me, yeah, I can't do that. CB, excuse me, just give me my order. Me, sorry, but you have to pay for it. CB, I know your boss. Your boss is letting me have the food for free. I'm ordering you to give it to me. The attitude she gave me rang up red flags everywhere. We've given out freebies for important people, business associates and to a certain extent family members. Most of the time my boss and the general manager will tell the employees about it beforehand. They'll either tell us in person or send us a text to be on the lookout for Mr. So-and-so or Ms. Important Business Person. I decided to act like a real derp and just play along for a bit. Me, you know my boss? CB, yes, I do. His name is Tashi. I'll call him right now and tell him how you're a bad worker and get you fired for not doing your job. Me, Tashi, you know some person named Tashi? CB, yes, Tashi said I can have whatever I want here. I don't have a boss named Tashi. My boss is a woman and is new. I wear close to the name, Tashi. She may have overheard the name of someone important in the restaurant but probably misheard me. Sorry, never heard of him. Are you talking about Takahashi? CB, yes. Takashi, that's not a typo. She mispronounced the name after I said it. He said I can have free rice and tempura. It was at this point I caught her in her BS me. Yeah, I smile. I don't have a boss named Takahashi or Takashi. CB just looks at me with her jaws open. I can hear some residual squeak or mild squawking. If a person was a computer, this is when the computer suddenly freezes for a couple of seconds. She takes off her sunglasses violently and starts pointing at me angrily before she's screaming at me. CB, you'll be fired. I will make sure your boss knows that you are the worst employee. You never work here, you. Me, and who is my boss? CB, you'll be fee. Me, looks at another customer behind her. Alright, next customer, step down. Welcome, how can I help you? CB, just huffs and leaves the place. All the while the customer asks, who the F was that crazy girl? Me, some crazy girl, I dunno. If you can afford some of the most overly expensive anything, then you can afford food. You can't eat Louis Vuitton, Gucci or Apple AirPods. I have a big family. I'm the youngest of 6. My brothers and sisters are much older than me. My oldest brother is 28 years older. We don't have the same biological mom, and my youngest sister is 14 years older than me. I actually stop counting nephews and nieces when I get to 25, and we're not even Catholic. My middle sister has 2 boys, one 11 months younger than me and the other 4 years younger. On a side note, if you read my other posts, I mentioned my cousin Dave. He's actually my nephew, but that makes me sound like a creepy uncle if I write that. Anyway, my sister has a daughter who turned 30 last year. My youngest sister has a son who turned 18 last year. So big milestones. As I'm doing pretty well for myself, I decided to treat them. My nephew studied classics at school and I've always wanted to go to Rome. So what better treat than to take them to Rome for a week? It was October, but 3 4-star hotel rooms and 3 flights cost about £2,600. I decided to treat myself a bit and fly business class. My niece and nephew could sit in economy. When we're checking in, the lady says, "Oh, you're in business class, you can use the lounge." My niece all excited, "You booked us business class?" "Sorry, only your uncle is in business class. You're in economy." At that point I knew she wouldn't let it drop. "Unbelievable," she says. "Can you believe that?" Looking at the lady. "It's a really nice thing he's doing for you," she says. My niece shuts up for a minute. I didn't use the lounge, but business class boards first. As I'm sitting in my seat, she walks past it again. "Unbelievable, switch seats with me. Give me £200 and you can sit here." Getting a little pissed off. We had to deplane as there was a problem with the heater. It took a few hours to fix and in total over 4 hours delayed. The airline gave me just over £600 compensation a few weeks later. My niece to me when I told her, "You can give me the £200 now if you want." At that point I burst, "Oh no, I paid for your whole holiday. You ain't getting a penny." My niece has a shit job and gets paid peanuts, so I wasn't expecting her to pay for anything. My nephew was 18 and had like £100 on him for the week as pocket money, and of course he wasn't to pay anything. I lost count how much money I spent, but I went out to Rome with €400 cash and that was gone in 2.5 days. In all, including the compensation, it cost me about £3,000. What I didn't expect from her was the bitching about me treating myself for a few hours.